One of these has more sodium than 3 McDonald's burgers. Another uses ingredients you'd actually find in a home kitchen. We ranked 12 of Australia's most popular ready meal brands. By the end of this video, you'll never read the front of a box again. Number 12. Maggi 2-minute noodles. Nobody should be surprised to see these at the bottom. They are sold as a complete meal. Millions of Australians eat them every week. But one chicken cup contains 1,515 milligrams of sodium. The safe daily target is 2,000. That one tiny cup wipes out 76% of your entire day's allowance before breakfast or dinner. The beef flavour delivers 1,245 milligrams. Oriental hits 1,135. None of them give you more than 5 grams of protein. That is less than a single boiled egg. Flip the cup over and it gets worse. Flavour Enhancer 621 is MSG. Antioxidant 319 is TBHQ. A synthetic antioxidant approved in Australia but banned in Japan and restricted in the EU due to concerns raised in animal studies. BHA sits inside the vegetable fat. Another synthetic antioxidant that researchers continue to study. Both are legal here. That does not mean they have been proven harmless. In 2015, the entire product line was pulled from shelves across India over lead contamination concerns. At under $3 a cup, the price looks appealing. But that is exactly the problem. At this price point, they become a default, not a treat, a Tuesday night habit. Eating this much sodium regularly raises your baseline tolerance. Once that happens, normal food starts tasting bland. That is how a cheap shortcut slowly reshapes what you want to eat. Number 11. Continental pasta and sauce. Your grandparents ate this and your parents ate this. You probably have a packet in your cupboard right now. The macaroni cheese contains over 1,000 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams when dry. The Four Cheeses version has only 2.8 to 4.5% actual cheese powder. The carbonara lists 0.15% bacon powder. That number is so small that the word bacon on the front is doing all the work by itself. What fills the rest? Pasta, maltodextrin, MSG, and Flavour Enhancer 635. The sauce is starch, salt, and artificial flavour. That is it. This is what sauces do in cheap, ready meals. They are where sodium rises without screaming salt. They are where thickness comes from starch and gums instead of food. A small amount of real ingredients gets stretched into something that looks like a complete meal. At under $1.50 per serve, Continental survives on price alone. No health star rating on the front. Once you understand why, you will not look at it the same way again. Number 10. On the menu. This one targets the budget end of the frozen aisle. Chicken parmigiana, beef lasagna, roast dinners, $3 to $7. Sounds like a decent deal. The chicken parmigiana hits 1,200 milligrams of sodium in a single 320 gram tray. More than half your daily target gone in one meal. The entire meal contains just 16% actual chicken. The rest is crumb coating, sauces, sodium nitrite, thickener 1422, and margarine. Testing by nutrition professionals found that the chicken fettuccine and the 3-cheese macaroni both contained 0 serves of vegetables. Then came the recalls. In April 2024, Food Standards Australia pulled several meals from this range off shelves in every major supermarket. The oven instructions did not match the tray material. Follow the directions and the tray could melt inside your oven. Then, in March 2025, the roast chicken roll was recalled for undeclared peanut and crustacean allergens. Despite all of that, the brand won a CanStar Blue Consumer Satisfaction Award in 2023. What that tells you is that a recall is not a rare event in this category. Most people assume recalls only happen from contamination. With ready meals, the risk can come from packaging, heating limits, or instructions that simply do not account for real-world use. Once a product category has recall history, blind trust is the wrong default. Number 9. McCain Healthy Choice. Read that name one more time. Healthy Choice. The packaging screams 97% fat-free, but fat was never the real enemy in frozen meals. Sodium is. The butter chicken delivers 750 milligrams of sodium, alongside just 13.5 grams of protein and 41 grams of carbohydrates. This is what fitness branding does. It creates permission. When a label says healthy, people stop reading the back. They eat these meals more often because they feel like they are doing the right thing. A fine meal once a week is one thing. A fine meal 5 times a week is your diet. Real customers have been vocal about it. Reviewers reported finding very few cashews in the Chinese chicken and cashews meal. Multiple people described the portions as laughably small for the price and called it mostly gluggy rice. The broader McCain brand faced 4 food safety recalls between 2024 and 2025. Metal contamination, chemical contamination, plastic fragments, 4 recalls in under 2 years at one of Australia's biggest food companies. Number 8. Lean cuisine. Premium calorie controlled. Clean packaging, sleek branding, $6 to $7 a meal. The positioning is clear. This is the grown-up choice for people who take their diet seriously. The Indian butter chicken tells a different story. The marinated chicken component lists only 10% actual chicken. The rest is water, salt, sugar, mineral salts, vegetable fiber, and chicken fat. The saturated fat sits at 5.6 grams and sodium hits 900 milligrams per serve, well above what the controlled branding implies. The ingredient list includes thickener 1422 and emulsifier 1440. Those are classified as processing aids rather than preservatives under Australian food law. Some versions of this product carry a preservative-free claim on the label. That claim is technically legal. Whether it is honest is a different question. The 350-gram bowls range is genuinely better. A real 4-star health star rating, about 2 serves of vegetables, and a dietitian praised that specific range for portion control. But the standard line does not come close. It finished at the bottom of CanStar Blue's 2025 frozen meal survey, the most expensive option on most shelves, and customers ranked it below everything else. That is the whole story. The 20-second sodium test. Before we move into the brands that actually get some things right, something worth saying now that you have seen the worst of this category. Ready meals are not evil. Convenience is not evil. Being tired at the end of a long day is not a character flaw. The problem is blind trust. This is how ultra-processed eating takes over. Not with one shocking moment, but with repetition. The same brand, the same shelf, the same comfortable habit every week. You stop reading the back because you already know the front. So here's a test that breaks that habit in 20 seconds. Flip the pack. Ignore the front. The front is advertising. Look for sodium per serve on the back. Anything under 600 milligrams keeps you well within your daily target. Above 600, you are chipping away fast. Above 1,000, half your daily allowance is gone in one meal. Then, check the serving size in grams. A lot of people look at the sodium number, feel safe, and never notice the serve size is smaller than what they actually eat. That is how not that bad becomes why do I feel awful after this. Then, look at the first 3 ingredients, not the health claims on the front. The first 3 ingredients on the back, because ingredients are listed by weight. If the first 3 are water, starch, and oil, you are not buying a chicken meal. You are buying a base mixture that chicken was added to. 20 seconds, every time. One question for the comments before we continue. When you buy ready meals, what is the one thing that disappoints you most? The portion size, the taste, the price, or how you feel after eating it? Drop it below. Number 7. U-Foods. Fresh, not frozen. That was the pitch. A meal delivery company that grew fast enough to be bought by HelloFresh in 2021 for $125 million. Today you can find the range at Coles and IGA. The branding says clean eating. The numbers say otherwise. Independent testing found the fueled peri-peri chicken and the fueled beef ragu fettuccine both topped 1,000 milligrams of sodium per serve. That is more sodium than a Big Mac. Some products crept close to 2,000 milligrams. the full daily target in a single meal. A qualified nutritionist rated the ingredient quality as poor. Refined canola oil, processed chicken booster additives, and extensive preservatives in meals marketed as fresh and healthy. But the bigger issue is not the food. Customer reviews describe subscription traps that are hard to cancel, auto-ordering without consent, and debt collectors chasing customers over disputed charges. The ACCC took HelloFresh to court over these alleged practices. If leaving is hard, if cancellation is buried, and charges keep appearing, the business is not optimized for you to eat well. It is optimized for you to stay subscribed. A company that respects its customers makes joining and leaving equally easy. To be fair, the same independent testing scored the clean chicken and sweet potato at 73%, one of the highest individual meal scores in their entire test. The range can produce good food. The problem is the gap between what is promised and what is delivered is wider here than anywhere else on this list. Number 6. Aldi International Cuisine. Nobody beats Aldi on price. Their frozen meals run $3 to $5, undercutting Coles and Woolworths by 20 to 30%. The trade-off shows up in the numbers. The butter chicken is the most calorie-dense frozen meal in any Australian supermarket at 544 calories, with 11.3 grams of saturated fat. That one meal takes up almost half the daily saturated fat limit. The mac and cheese hits 1,031 milligrams of sodium. The spaghetti bolognese carries 13.5 grams of sugar per serve. In December 2024, the World Kitchen Energize High Protein Chicken Pesto Pasta was recalled for an undeclared cashew allergen. Portions are solid for the price, and the butter chicken delivers over 23 grams of protein. If budget is the priority and you are not watching saturated fat or sodium, Aldi will fill you up for less than a coffee. Nutritionally though, it belongs in the bottom half of this ranking. Number 5. Coles Own Brand. The largest own brand ready meal range in the country. Standard frozen, chilled, premium, high protein, eat well and plant-based. It sounds comprehensive. A peer-reviewed study found 70% of those convenience foods classified as unhealthy. The range swings wildly. The spaghetti bolognese scored among the lowest sodium meals in independent testing, with just 1.9 grams of saturated fat and over 20 grams of protein. The mac and cheese from the same shelf hit 633 calories. The beef lasagna packs over 13 grams of saturated fat. The star of the range is the Eat Well Fusilli chicken, the highest scoring product in independent testing with a score of 74 out of 100. But 94% of the range is ultra-processed. The good options are buried alongside far weaker products with near-identical packaging. The shopper who picks up the fusilli chicken one week can easily grab the beef lasagna the next. The front of both boxes gives almost no reason to tell them apart. That is a packaging choice, not an accident. Over 80% of these meals carry health star ratings that make them appear healthier than they are. Number 4. Woolworths Own Brand. Woolworths edges out Coles on one number that matters. Only 44% of its own brand convenience foods were classified as unhealthy in the same university study. Coles was at 70%. The now discontinued Delicious Nutritious range was a real standout while it lasted. A dietitian ranked it the best nutrition of any frozen meal tested in Australia. Sodium, as low as 138 milligrams per serve, 3 servings of vegetables, and under 300 calories. Woolworths has since discontinued it. That tells its own story. The calorie-controlled butter chicken uses 20% RSPCA-approved chicken, 13% real capsicum, red lentils for fibre, and actual yogurt. Lean Cuisine puts 10% chicken padded with water and mineral salts. The difference is obvious. The mac and cheese uses no modified starches or artificial additives. Pasta, milk, 19% cheddar, cream, and parmesan. Ingredients that make sense when you read them. The standard budget range is still average, but the calorie-controlled and premium ranges deliver clean meals at supermarket prices. Number 3. McCain Standard Range. Back again. After Healthy Choice landed at number 9, the Standard Range still earned this position, for a reason that matters more than nutrition labels. It won CanStar Blue's overall Frozen Meal Satisfaction Award in both 2024 and 2025. 5 stars across every single category: taste, value, variety, packaging, and overall satisfaction. No other frozen meal brand came close. The pub size range gives you 480 to 500 grams per tray, the biggest portion of any frozen meal in Australia. Bangers and mash, chicken parma, lasagna, comfort food with 0 health claims and no tricks on the label. That honesty matters. The most dangerous ready meal is not the one you know is a compromise. It is the one you trust without checking. This range makes no claims it cannot keep. In a category full of misleading fronts, that is worth something. The sodium runs around 310 milligrams per 100 grams, higher than the Healthy Choice line, but the larger portions mean you actually finish feeling satisfied. That kills the number one complaint about frozen meals, that they leave you hungry. The 4 food safety recalls between 2024 and 2025 are concerning: metal, plastic, and chemical contamination. Quality control problems that should not be happening at this scale. That is what drops it below the top 2. Number 2. My Muscle Chef. Rated number 1 by customers in 2024 across taste, freshness, variety, and overall satisfaction. Made fresh, not frozen, at a facility in Yennora, New South Wales. If you watched our previous Ready Meals video, we flagged the fitness branding as something that creates false permission, making people eat processed food more often because it feels healthy. That concern still stands, but on the data alone, the transparency and protein numbers earn it this ranking. Branding and formulation are 2 different things. The protein content is unmatched. The Mongolian beef delivers 42 grams of protein at just 398 calories. Across more than 80 meals, protein ranges from 14 to 68 grams per serve. No other brand in the supermarket comes close. Every ingredient percentage is also listed on the packaging. Nothing else on this list does that. The Chipotle Chicken Burrito Bowl contains 1,600 milligrams of sodium, nearly 2/3 of your entire daily limit in a single meal. The low-cal honey soy chicken hits 1,310. Multiple meals blow past 1,000 milligrams. For a range that markets directly to fitness-focused customers, that sodium load contradicts the entire message. No food safety recalls on record. Available in the chilled section at most major supermarkets. If you are tracking protein and managing sodium from the rest of your diet, this is the strongest all-round option on any shelf. Number 1. Dynamic and Solara. 2 brands share the top spot because both solved the one problem every other brand on this list refused to fix. They made ready meals with ingredients you would actually recognize if you read them out loud. Independent testing singled out Dynamic as one of only 2 brands in the entire category using whole food ingredients. No thickener 1 422, no emulsifier 473, no flavor enhancer 635, no chicken booster, no maltodextrin, no synthetic antioxidants. You can read the ingredient list and understand every word. Independent testing gave it a nutrition score of 90 out of 100, 99% Australian ingredients, and 3.1 serves of vegetables per meal. That alone puts it in a different category from everything else in the freezer aisle. It is also the only ready meal brand in Australia using compostable packaging, with 42 options available at selected Coles and Woolworths stores, primarily on the East Coast, and online nationwide. Some reviewers say the seasoning runs light, the trade-off for removing artificial flavour boosters. At $11 to $13 per meal, it sits at the top of the price range. The second brand takes a different approach entirely. Australia's first 100% plant-based prepared meal service, with every meal dietitian designed and free from preservatives, flavour enhancers, and artificial ingredients of any kind. Saturated fat is naturally lower, with no animal fat involved. The high protein range targets over 20 grams of protein using complete amino acid combinations from plant sources. At $9 to $12 per meal, it matches number 2 on price, but without the sodium issues. Available online with delivery to most parts of Australia. Neither has a food safety recall on record. Neither uses the additive-heavy formulas that are standard across every other brand on this list. The taste will not hit you the way a pub-sized chicken parma does. The portions will not stuff you. But if you eat ready meals more than twice a week, there is one question worth asking. Can you read and understand every ingredient on the back of what you're eating? With these two, the answer is yes. With almost everything else on this list, it is not even close. 12 brands ranked, from meals hiding behind misleading labels to food you can actually trust. The one number that matters in that freezer aisle is sodium per serve. Anything under 600 milligrams keeps you within your daily target. Above that, you are chipping away fast. Ignore healthy choice and 97% fat-free on the front. Research shows a significant proportion of ultra-processed supermarket meals carry health star ratings that make them appear healthier than they are. Only products rated 4 stars or above consistently meet sodium targets. The best thing you can do takes 5 seconds. Flip the box over. Read the back, not the front. If this video helped you, share it with someone who relies on ready meals. Someone juggling work, kids, or caregiving. They deserve to know what to look for. And if this is the kind of thing you want more of, subscribe. Every video on this channel is the same deal. Australian brands, real data, no brand deals, no agenda. See you in the next one.